In this video, I want to speak about BTCUSD, and I want to start the analysis from the monthly time frame and then work it down to weekly and then to daily time frame to help us understand the market structure and where we have the highest probability for the next potential move on this pair. So starting from the monthly time frame, if we look at what the market has done so far in BTC, we can see that in recent time, after we had this impulse move to the upside, we had a correction, and now price has recovered back to the high. And when we have an impulse move followed by a correction, what do? We measure the impulse starting from the lowest price to the highest price. And if we do that, we can clearly see how price reacted around the 50% and 61.8% Fibo retracement level. So we can clearly see that at this area here, at this 50% and 61.8% retracement, we saw how price rejected that level and quickly rebound to the upside. So we had impulse to the upside, a 61.8% retracement, and then a bounce back to a high. So we have that area of 50% and 61.8% retracement level as a possible lower high formation level. Okay, so we likely have that place to be a lower high. So if we now check the structural move of this market, we see that it's now making high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and a recent higher low, which from here we anticipate more bullish price action development away from that pullback level. Now, when we now visualize this market outlook from the weekly, here from the weekly time frame, we can see how price reacted at that level, leaving a double bottom pattern formation and an impulse move to the upside. Okay, so from the weekly perspective, we already see an impulse move to the upside, and now price is currently trading at this high here. Okay, so for more bullish price action to develop from this weekly time frame, we need to see price break through this high, and then from there we can see a slight pullback to the previous resistance, which will now turn support, and then more bullish price action continues. Okay, so from the weekly time frame, we are likely to see a possible break above the resistance level, and from there we can see more bullish price action development. So from the weekly time frame, price is still strongly bullish. Also, if we put our trend line starting from this lowest point to this previous week strong rejection, we can see that we are still inclined to the upside. All right, we are still inclined to the upside. And then if we also measure the impulsive move with our Fibonacci retracement tool, placing it from the lowest point to the highest point, we can see that the 23.6% Fibo retracement level is currently being rejected. So to say, we can place this around this area, and we see that we are likely going to see a pullback to this level here. Okay, around 23.6% and 38.6% level, we are likely going to see price reject deeper around this level, and then we go more bullish. Okay, so this point here is a very crucial juncture in weekly time frame. So price previously rejected that level, and now it is rejecting there. So from here we are expecting more bullish price action development away from that level. So from this weekly time frame, if we are now to put out our major levels, we now first of all measure the Fibonacci of the impulse like pattern. Then we mark out the 23% and the 38.6% Fibo retracement level. This is our major level from the weekly perspective, which price is currently reacting right now, as we can see. So around this level, we are going to see more institutional longing. Around that level, we are going to see more impulse move to the upside. So let's now take a closer look at the daily time frame. Here from the daily time frame, we can clearly see that the price is still bearish. Okay, recently we had price pull back to this 100k price level, so we are likely going to see a deeper retracement to that level before price can then finally break out. Okay, so we are still having a bearish like pattern on the daily. So from the daily perspective, what we see is that price is currently moving in a channel form. So this is what the price is currently doing from the daily perspective. So until price break out of this channel, we are likely going to see further retrace in price. And in this scenario, if we are to identify pattern, we can see this is a current formation of bullish flag. So this is inside pattern. Okay, so price might likely test the lower support of the channel before we can finally see a break to the upside. So we are in short-term bearish trend from the daily time frame. So once price break out of the bullish flag, we are going to experience more bullish price action on BTC. So the investor sentiment is still bullish, and we anticipate a breakout of the channel so we can buy this asset.